Hey y'all, hey, it's Raw to the Bone. Yeah, Coffee with Friends was on the go, and so my background scenery was grass, trees, rivers, lakes, mountains. Um, but now I'm back home. Anyway, the road trip was fun and everything, but I'm back. But I wanted to jump on here and say, first I wanted to say welcome. Next, I want to just talk about for a minute or two scorned women in relationships, right? So for Monday's topic with Coffee with Friends, I talked about, relationships. What happens when love, we all know love is beautiful when it's beautiful, right? What happens when love is no longer beautiful? But let's go a level deeper. What happens when love is no longer beautiful due to infidelity, right? A lot of times, scorned women, we do things. I've done some things. I've taken my first husband's clothes to the Salvation Army after I asked him to leave. But I gave him fair warning. But I would never go any further than that. My thoughts have taken me places, but I'm too afraid of the consequences. But there's a lot of women out here that's not afraid of the consequences. We see it all the time on social media, okay? So we see the woman that blew up her boyfriend's or her ex-boyfriend's Jeep and blew her own ass up across the parking lot. We saw that. And she got arrested. So there's consequences in our scorned behavior, right? But not only is there consequences for our scorned behavior, but sometimes these men, they act like, oh my gosh, she's crazy. Yes, she's crazy. But this is the consequences of doing some of the shit y'all do. Right? Now, I'm not saying that a woman should be crazy, scratch up your car, spray paint your house, stalk your family. I'm not saying do any of that. But what I'm saying, guys, when it happens, you got to remember the part you played in this. Okay? So if you already know that women are crazy, some women, not all, if you already know this, then you have to be ready for the consequences when that time comes and you get busted, right? I talk to a lot of guys during things like this, and they get so frustrated because the woman can't overcome the infidelity as quickly as they like them to, right? They want to be able to say sorry and move on. They want a week or two to go by and everything is normal, right? But that kind of heartbreak is a lot. And it takes a lot for people to get over that. Now imagine if it takes a lot for a woman to get over it. We know men, they feel it 10 times worse. A man hates to find out that his significant other cheated. They don't like knowing that another man has been caressing on their woman. So just imagine, if the woman said sorry to you, would sorry be enough? Would you expect her to, him to forgive you, or you expect her to forgive you just off of one sorry, or vice versa, right? Y'all know what I mean. These things take time. So I'm just jumping on here to say, if you're in a situation where a significant other has had some infidelity, here's my advice to both sides, right? The person that created the infidelity needs to execute patience, right? Because that person that they hurt is going to go through a healing process. And that healing process is going to take time. And sometimes it isn't pretty. Sometimes it's very frustrating, okay? Sometimes the relationships can't even sustain through the healing period because the level of frustration that comes from the consequences is too much for some people. But I'm here to say this. If you've had infidelity in your relationship, what I recommend is that you guys talk through it. Figure out what the next steps are during your healing process if you're going to remain together, because if you're going to remain together, then you have to figure out what that looks like. And then you have to figure out how you're going to heal through the infidelity without using it as a weapon in your relationship. And then here's my other piece. If you feel that you are weaponizing the infidelity and it's becoming toxic, then no matter how many sorries are harmonized, sung out loud, it's not going to matter, right? You have to decide to walk away at that point, because then the relationship becomes toxic, okay? But my last and final comment is, you guys, it takes time. You can't expect to have an affair or cheat and then come back to a woman and then say sorry, and in a couple of days it's going to be fine. It could be a couple of weeks. It could be a couple of months. I don't know. That healing time is different for everyone, and it's different based on the circumstance. So keep that in mind. If you're going to go out and you're going to cheat, make sure you can manage through the consequences, okay, without being frustrated, okay? Because in that joy of cheating, there's going to come some pain. Be ready for that pain. That's what I'm here to say, okay? Anyway, thank you for listening to Raw to the Bone. Join Coffee with Friends Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. Facebook Live. We talk about real topics. Tomorrow's topic is, I love you, but I can't be with you. What does that mean? What exactly does that mean? How can we love someone but know that we can't be with that person? Let's talk about it. Join me, Facebook Live, Monday through Friday, Raw to the Bone. And now I'm out. Gone for now, but not forever. Raw to the bone.